Hi, it's Belinda, sharing memories and experiences about being a member of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. In 2016, we had a surprise announcement that the choir was going to go to Europe on a tour, a 3-week-long tour. And we had just done a tour the year before, and we usually would go on tours every couple of years. So this was quite a surprise. And it was very exciting. Well, we went through Germany, Belgium, and Amsterdam, and we came to the city of Nuremberg in Germany. And I was really unprepared for what was going to happen to me there. We came to this interesting park and a concert hall, and I can't really pronounce it, but I'll show you you'll see the name of it in my photos that I show here. And we had some extra time, which was kind of unusual. We had bused quite a ways. We were just going to stay in this vicinity for the rest of the day and perform the concert and then bus home that night. So we had almost all day. They were going to feed us lunch at one point. But it was a beautiful green park, and I realized that there is a lot of history here. And I heard some of the choir members talking about walking around and exploring. And so I decided to do the same thing. And it became a real journey of discovery for me that was quite amazing and really life-changing as well. This is because of my dad. My dad wanted to do his part in World War II, and he really wanted to be an airplane pilot. And he went in to get his physical to join the Air Force. And unfortunately, he was so excited about it, his blood pressure was too high and he was rejected. So he was brought into the checkerboard division of the Army, and he was flown out to Germany and was one of those in the Battle of the Bulge. He actually was captured as he faced the muzzle of a tank while he was in his foxhole. His buddy right next to him had been killed, and he was told by these soldiers to get out of that foxhole, and he was taken, and with a lot of other soldiers at the time, they were put into train box cars, and for 3 days without food or water. They were stripped of their clothing, and when the train stopped, they were made to get out and stand in the freezing cold on Christmas Day. And he was then taken to a prisoner of war camp, and it happened to be right where we were for this concert. I was really stunned. I was amazed. I had never been there in my life. I knew Nuremberg had some significance for my dad. I had known that, but I did not expect to be on this very ground. And there were a number of maps and historical markings, and my sweet little friend accompanied me as we explored, and I'm sure she was kind of taken with my excitement, but it was beautiful, and I really felt my dad was there with me. He had passed away about 9 years earlier, and I could tell my dad was so happy that I could be there to see these sights and to see his history. He was a prisoner of war in this area, and it was the Nazi parade grounds, and it was also the area where the Nazi Party first met back in the 30s. And I'll give you a little more about his story. He was forced to work out in the rubble of the city as a prisoner. And at one point, he actually found this little knife, and he made the mistake of keeping the knife, and someone else told on him, and that made him be taken and put in solitary confinement. And his cell was, I think, about 5 feet by 8 feet. I think that was the size of it. And he was in solitary for 3 months. And he was actually on the docket to be executed. And on the day of he supposed he was going to be executed, he was marched into town, into Nuremberg City, to the city hall. And he sat there all day long waiting for his hearing, and it never took place. And then he heard later the next day that the war was ending. So what a tremendous blessing for me, for his posterity, for all of us. But he was really my hero. He was such a brave man. And to have this opportunity to sing songs of peace and joy in this place of such evil was really solemn. It was a solemn opportunity. And as we sang that concert, I really felt my dad was there in attendance, along with his parents, my grandparents, because they lived through this event. And I asked our choir president at one point during that day, how did we happen to come to this place? And he just told me how I don't remember the details of it, but I just told him how significant it was for me. And I'll never forget it. We were actually able to get my dad to put his stories on video, and I've put a link here in the description so that if you're interested, you can watch him tell the story of his World War II experience.